Hey guys, John here. In today's video, we're checking out the badass BadCat Lynx. This amplifier is very cool, very unique, and I'm super excited to show you guys what this thing can do and just to discover what this thing has to offer. And let's jump in right away with the nice and heavy metal demo using my Schecter E1 Apocalypse Red Rain into channel 2 with the high gain setting. Check it out. Awesome, that sounded great. Nice, juicy, and thick, and very dense sounding in the mix with a nice sizzly top end. And plenty of gain. This thing has so much gain on tap. It's unbelievable. Now for the main demo segments of this video, I'm running the BadCat Lynx into my RedSeven Amplification Amp Central reactive load and into various ML SoundLab impulse responses. But later in the video, I'm also going to do a dialing in section through my Real Angle XXL 4x12 cabinet. So the folks from BadCat were kind enough to send me this amplifier so I could use it on the channel, and I could not be more excited. Recently, when I was over at Henning's place, I played this amplifier and I was very impressed. He also really liked the sound of this amplifier, and I knew at that point that I had to have one in the studio. So we've got it here now, and today we're going to explore it, and it's going to be a lot of fun. This amplifier was built in the USA. It's a 50-watt amplifier, and it's quite a simple amplifier, but it still does a lot, and it does it all in its own unique way, especially tonally. It has its own character going on, as you hopefully heard in the intro. Again, very thick, rich, fat, and dense with a unique sizzly top end and a very fat bottom end, and plenty of mids as well. It's not the most tight, precise, and modern amplifier. It's very thick and fat, and that's honestly what I love so much about this amplifier. It has its own unique character. Now this amp has 2 channels, and on the front panel we have 2 individual gain controls, 1 gain for channel 1 and 1 gain for channel 2. Then we have a shared 3-band EQ, and the way that the EQ affects the tone is quite musical, so you can go quite wild with the mid control, for example. Then we've got 2 individual volume controls, a master control, a presence control, which is also quite powerful, and a noise gate threshold, which is always a welcome control for a high gain amplifier like this. Now the 2 channels both are basically gain channels, but channel 1 sounds a little bit more classic and channel 2 sounds a bit more fat, thick, and modern. You can dial them in to sound similar, but they definitely don't sound exactly the same, and you'll hear what I'm talking about later in the video. On the back of the amplifier we have the standby switch, the power switch, an effects loop, various speaker outs, and also a foot switch jack, and this amplifier does come with its own little tiny cute foot switch. You can use this to change the channels as well as the low and high gain modes, because this amplifier has 2 modes, a low and a high gain mode, and obviously the high gain mode has a lot of gain on tap. And that's just a lot of fun. It's so much fun to play through this amplifier. The saturation is just yummy. This amplifier also comes with a nice dust cover, by the way, which is a nice touch. Aesthetically, I think this amplifier looks very cool. It's quite different than all the other amps that I have. Just as with the Archon 50 that I have, the controls are up top here. And I like the illuminated BadCat logo. So yeah, overall, I think that it's a cool looking amplifier. Simple but effective and unique and sort of classic. Anyway, let's continue with the tone demos and let's try a clean tone with channel 1 using my Schecter Solo II Custom, which is kind of like a Les Paul, on the neck pickup with an open tuning. And I'm going to lower the gain quite a bit and of course put the amplifier on the low gain setting so you guys can hear how the clean tones sound on this amplifier. Now, it doesn't do clean tones very well in my opinion. It's more of an amp that reacts better with a bit of gain on it, so there is a little bit of grit on the tone, but I do like how it sounds. I'm also going to put the Walrus Audio Fundamentals Reverb in the loop. Let's take a listen. All right, that was quite wonderful and unique, definitely. So again, it's not an amp that's going to deliver high headroom, clean tones. Especially with hot pickups, there's always going to be a little bit of grit. So don't get this amplifier if you're looking for pristine, clean tones. It's basically a rock beast, okay? So we're going to turn up the gain a little bit on channel 1 and try some crunch tones, some sort of mid-gain crunch tones using my ESP LTD Phoenix Deluxe 1000 with the Seymour Duncan Custom in the bridge, again with the low gain setting. And you'll get to hear how nice of a chime this amplifier has with crunch tones. Take a listen. All right, that was quite nice indeed. So far, this amplifier is sounding great. Now, let's turn up the gain more. In the intro, you heard this amplifier in a metal setting with passive pickups and no pedals up front. Now I want to try some metal with Fishman Fluence active pickups on voice too. I'm going to use my Schecter PT SLS Elite with the Fishman Fluence modern pickups in it with the Fishman ceramic in the bridge, again to the passive voicing. But now I want to see how this amplifier sounds with a boost up front. So I'm going to use the Lichtlärm Audio The King in Yellow boost, which is kind of like a modded tube screamer, one of my favorite boost pedals of all time. And I'm going to run it into channel 1 with the high gain settings, just to see how that sounds. So kind of like the more classic channel, but then with a boost up front. Let's see how modern this thing can get. Check it out. Okay, that was quite awesome. Very tight and snarly and aggressive. And yeah, the boost definitely helped to bring clarity and tightness to the tone. So this amp takes pedals really, really well. Now I want to go lower with my ESP LTD SCT-607B, the sparkle green one that I got recently with the Steph Fishman Fluence pickups in it. On the bridge pickup, on the active voicing, no boost pedal up front or anything like that. Just the guitar into channel 2. With the high gain setting on. Let's see how well this amplifier handles a baritone guitar, a 7-string baritone in fact, and drop A flat without a pedal up front. Take a listen. Awesome. That sounded thick, grindy, and nasty, and yeah, definitely unique. It doesn't sound like a rectifier. It doesn't sound like a Marshall. It doesn't sound like a 5150. It has its own sound going on, and I really enjoy that. As you heard before, you can tailor it with boost, and we're going to try that again for the next segment, but you can also get some great tones without boost pedals, and that sort of helps to keep the character of the amplifier intact. Okay, now I want to try my Ibanez M80M Meshuggah 8-string, as I love that guitar, and it's always cool to see how amplifiers function with an 8-string. Now, since it's tuned to F, so quite low, we are going to use that same boost pedal again with very similar settings to make it sound a bit more tight and snarly again. And yeah, channel 2, the high gain setting. Let's go. Alright, again, what a cool sound. So that 8-string guitar with the 29.4-inch scale and the Lundgren pickup in it and with the boost up front, that combination makes for a wonderful tone. Really cool. Now I also want to let you guys hear how this amplifier sounds on its own through my cabinet, and I'm going to tweak all the controls so you can hear how they affect the tone. I'm also just going to play very simple riffs and some chords so you can just focus on the texture and the tones of the amplifier. I'm going to use my Schecter Solo II Custom again. And yeah, we're just going to have some fun, jam a little bit, and really get to know the amplifier. Take a listen. So this was the BadCat Lynx. I really like this amplifier. I love it a lot. I love its quirks and its unique characteristics. Would it have been nice to have a dedicated clean channel? Perhaps. You know, maybe for future versions they can add like a one knob clean channel just for some extra versatility on stage and stuff like that. But for what it is, I really enjoy it. So if you want to have an amplifier that just rocks and has a fat and rich and chimey, you know, sound in the saturation, then this is a really cool amplifier to look for. And thanks so much to the folks at BadCat for sending this over to me. I really appreciate it. I'll put some links below so you can find some more information on this amplifier. And of course, you can also check out my Ko-Fi web store where I sell captures and stuff and my affiliate links. And also follow Sonic Drive Studio on Facebook and Instagram. Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are on this amplifier. And yeah, hope to see you next time, guys. Cheers!